is California Congresswoman Jackie Speier. Thank you very much for being with us. There's so much to talk about. You've introduced a bill on sexual harassment in the STEM field. You've been a strong advocate. How do you feel about this whole debate and how it's evolved over Donald Trump and the women accusing him now and him claiming that this is all created by the news media?
You know, Andrea, I think all of us who've been in the workplace for any length of time have encountered sexual harassment and sexual assault. And I think the First Lady did an extraordinary job yesterday saying that that's not what this country is about. And it's time for us to take very seriously this issue. Why I've taken the stance on military assault and why we need to deal with that in the military, on college campuses, in academia. And what Donald Trump has presented to us is the perfect case of what goes on when someone feels that they have power over another individual and can take advantage of them. And he was bragging about that on that 2005 tape.
Well, the point just now from A.J. Delgado from his campaign, a surrogate for him, is that that was just bragging. That was, you know, I guess what they called locker room talk, but hyperbole, said she.
Well, I don't think that we can call that hyperbole when he was very graphic about how he could grab women in their private parts and how he delighted in kissing women just because he was a celebrity and could do it. And, you know, that's the conduct of someone who is a serial predator. And women, for the most part, don't come forward because they feel powerless, they feel demeaned, and it's only when there is some outrageous conduct that they do come forward. I mean, think back to Anita Hill. I remember throwing a slipper at the TV when she was somehow being dismissed by the Judiciary Committee about her complaints of sexual harassment against Clarence Thomas. And at that point, I remember introducing legislation in the California State Legislature to require sexual harassment training by all businesses. And yet, here we are, how many years later, still dealing with that same outrageous behavior.
Jackie Speier, and by the way, I was at those hearings. I covered all of those hearings, and that was Democrats as well as Republicans. That's correct. What the Senate was like back in 1991.
And thank goodness it's not like that anymore.
One hopes. To be continued. Thank you very much, Congresswoman. Thanks for being with us.